Good evening, everyone. My name is Chisom Okore, and I'm the co-founder and COO of Ule Homes. 2 years ago, my landlord chased me out of my apartment because I could not afford my rent. Note, I'm not irresponsible. I had saved up for my rent, but 2 months down the line, before I was supposed to renew my rent, he had increased my rent by more than 50%. That took me aback, right? Because I had saved up enough, but then I was not able to pay back, for my rent going forward. This is the situation with many other young Nigerians or many other professionals, right? Lagos rent has soared by more than 91% in the last 5 years. Young people struggle with high cost of rent, access to no credit, rent hikes, and even tight budgets, right? Employers, on the other hand, want happy and productive employees, but the issue of rent, competing needs, makes it very difficult for people to be productive and give their all to their jobs. We did a market survey, and we got lots of comments, trying to validate that this market actually exists. Across different social media platforms, we had different views, we had different comments, people saying that this is actually a problem for them and they would appreciate a company that would solve it. This is why we are in the market today. We're a flexible rent payment solution that helps employers provide rental perks for their employees and also help them build their credit scores. This is our typical customer persona, a professional that earns salary on a monthly basis, right, but also struggles with savings, right, and also struggles with high cost of living and is trying to manage expenses. And also, we partner with organizations, companies, right, that are keen on helping their employees stay afloat and also manage productivity. Our typical customer journey, right? A customer, looks for an apartment, or he or she, goes to our partner listing platform, to search for apartments, and they register on our platform. We do KYC. If they qualify, we go ahead to disburse the money directly to their landlord, right? That way, we manage the entire process to ensure that the money is used for their rent and their rent alone. After that, we do the direct debit or direct deduction from their salaries on a monthly basis. Our business model, you may want to ask how we currently work. We partner with financial institutions, right? So we have a financial institution that gives us interest, credit at a 2%. We in turn give the customer at a 2.9% interest rate, and we charge a 2.5% one-off facilitation fee. You may want to ask what sets us aside from our competitors, right? Currently in the market, we charge the lowest interest rates at 2.9%. We also don't place restrictions on the kind of houses that we currently finance, right? Once we meet our KYC process, we go ahead to, finance that. And also, our KYC process does not take time, maximum of 24 to 36 hours. And also, we've incorporated the savings platform or element into our system, right? Just like my example, for instance, I had saved up, but the money was not enough because of the increase in rent, right? So we want to walk, the journey of paying your rent, in little chunks monthly for our customers. So we incorporated the savings platform where people can get to save for their rent. I also receive interest, at the end of their repayment period. Our current market size, we have an average of 240,000 naira per customer for 8 million professionals in Lagos. That accrues to about 1.9 trillion, markets across Lagos and growing. So far, we've been able to partner with 6 property companies, right? We have 2 financiers, and we also have partnership with 13 organizations. I've been able to disburse 55 million in the last 6 months. The pilot, so we have Omolada Kimi, who is our CEO, we have Aziz, who is our CFO, who also has background in venture capital and real estate, and we have me, who is the business development lead and chief operations officer. We are asking for $200,000, and this is going to help us with our marketing. We also need to revamp our website and even have a web app that will help people, check their credit score. We recently partnered with Credit Bureau Nigeria that would help with, the credit scoring, and also some APIs that would enable people to be able to save and also help us with direct debit. We also want to have some certifications and licenses that will help us operate in this space properly. In the next 24 months, we are looking at having our app running and ready, right? Partnering with at least 300 corporate organizations, right? Also on board like 5,000 landlords, and also disburse at least 500 million in loans to our customers. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Chisom Okorie. Please, a round of applause again for her. Okay, so over to the judges. You have about 5 minutes to ask your questions, to critique.
Does this work?
To inquire.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Chisom. I wanted to find out, since operating, what's your default rate?
So right now we have a 0 default rate, right? But we've had customers whose salary has been delayed for a few days, maybe the weekend, but they always pay back. We have a very strict KYC process that's helped us with this, right? So our KYC process is very strict, that has sort of reduced the kind of customers that come to us and that we go ahead to finance.
All right, thanks.
Good presentation you have. Looking at it, number one, the barrier to entry. The second one is, it appears the only form of collateral you have for potential customers are the people who are on a paid job. And the only collateral they have is their job. How do you want to assess the risk of somebody losing his job? I'll ask all my questions at once to save time. Then secondly, how many subscribers do you have up to date? Do you have subscribers already? How many? Then the last one is the value chain analysis of the real estate industry. How have you tried to carefully analyze the value chain and begin to see that, something that probably will look like backward integration and forward integration, when you're talking to landlord, talking to potential tenants, and looking at the developers and the rest. How have you tried to look at the entire value chain and to say that in the next 3-4 years, perhaps this is where we want to position ourselves?
Okay, so the first one, to answer your question about an employee losing their jobs, we have insurance policy in place that has helped us with that, right? The second question around, can you remind me the second question?
I talk about the collateral.
Yeah, that's the insurance, right? So should in case an employee loses their job, we have insurance in place for that, right? Then the second question.
Subscriber, the number.
Subscriber, we have about 28 current paying customers.
Okay.
Yeah, that accumulates about 55 million naira disbursed in the last 6 months, right? We also have customers that we intend to disburse in the next couple of weeks because their rent is yet to, expire. And, the next question about value chain. So we partner with property management companies, right? So we have like Property Pro, InterSwitch, Quick Teller Home, right? So they have the whole listing. So customers just get there, and there's a button where there is Ule Homes, right? If you want to access rent financing, you can just click on the button, and we get the notification to do KYC, and then go ahead to disburse. So we are not necessarily like going into like the real estate side of things, but we are only focused on the financing part of the value chain.
So if you got this money, what will you do with this money you're asking for?
Yeah, so we want to do marketing, right? We currently have an MVP, which is our website. But when I was speaking, I mentioned we want to incorporate Credit Bureau Nigeria into our system, right? So that involves APIs, right? Even for direct debits like Mono, Prembly, and the rest, you'd also need like a tech. Currently, we run manually, right? But we want to scale. We want to ensure that our platform is very robust, and also the savings elements, right? How our model currently works is you need to make a 50% down payment of your rent, right? If you make that 50% down payment, we would go ahead to disburse the entire money to your landlord, right? That 50% you deposited initially is a saving, like it's a security deposit. That also helps us to mitigate and reduce risks, right? And when you are done paying back after 12 months, maximum is 12 months, we'll give you back that security deposit with an interest of 12%. That's 1% on a monthly basis. So that way you can use it to pay for your subsequent rent, right? So that way we are controlling like the customer acquisition level. Yeah.
Okay, just 1 minute left. How are you set up currently? What legal framework do you have in place? And do you have all the relevant certificates to run this financial business that you're doing at the moment?
Yes, so I also mentioned we need the money for some licenses and also for some certifications. That's part of the reason why we are pitching, right, to get the money to be able to do that. But as regards the legal aspect of it, we have some lawyers in place, right? We also send agreements, right? Even our financiers also have some agreements in place. So before we go ahead to disburse, there are some legal documentations that,
Are you a company registered at the CAC, or are you a business name?
Yes. Yes,
So
Ule
it's not
Homes
a
Limited.
sole proprietorship. It's not you running.
No, it's actually
a
a
company?
limited liability company. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Audience, does anyone have any question? Any question from, yes, we have one question from the audience.
My name is Pascal. Maybe I missed a part of your presentation, or I didn't hear it. What is your KYC process? How can you confirm that this customer has a capability to return back that money so you could actually have that investment rotating? Thank you.
Okay. So we do debt to income ratio, right? We ensure that your monthly deduction or monthly repayment is not more than 30% of your salary. Like we've had, reasons to, reject customers because they'll be paying back 50%, 60% of their salary, and we don't want paying back to be very strenuous for people, right? And aside from that, the KYC process, you need to give us your BVN, your NIN. You also have your offer letter, so we want to ensure that you actually work, right? Even your ID card, and also we have a place where you need to upload the apartment that you want to rent. So we are matching. Say, does this apartment worth this kind of money that you're requesting for? Aside from that, to go ahead to call the landlord or the agent, whoever it is you're speaking with. So we ensure that that angle is very tight, right? Aside from that too, we ask for an email thread, right, from your bank statement. So it's easy for you to just come up with a bank statement, right? But we ask, your bank statement should be sent to you from your bank, directly from your bank. So we always ask, aside from having the bank statement uploaded on our form, you send an email, the email thread from your bank, so that sort of verifies. I also have some tech that also helps to verify that this is an actual bank statement and not just fabricated.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you. So, okay.
You mentioned that you want to get some licensing and certification. So where exactly do you want to play in? And which license currently do you use to do what you do? That's one. Then the second question is, you mentioned insurance as your collateral. Insurance is for fortuitous events, like things that you don't foresee. So when people default on their loan out of maybe bad behavior, how do you foreclose or recover your exposure? How do you de-risk that aspect?
Yeah, so like I mentioned, so we have some insurance policies in place that helps us with that, right? When an employee loses their job, or before they lose their job, their employer, the HR managers that we have partnership with, often lets us know about it, right? And so beforehand, if the company is going through any situation at all, like we have a form of agreement or a conversation around how to go about that. For your first question around licenses and certifications that we need. We currently need like the data protection certification from the government because we deal with a lot of data. We have people's BVNs, NIN, and all coming into our database. So we want to, solve for that, right? And also, as we keep growing and scaling, right, we want to have some certifications that will help us to enable us, be safe, at least from regulators, right? For the licenses, we sort of have partnership with financiers. So those financiers have the licenses. So we may not necessarily need them now, but as a business, we are looking at scaling and growing, right, to become a financial partner or a financier ourselves, in the next few years.
All right. Thank you so much for that. Please, a round of applause for Chisom. Thank you, Chisom. So I'm going to go ahead and call the next business pitcher. Akintunde Oyewale from AGRISTI. Please come forward and let's encourage him as he comes. As you're encouraging him, you too, when you're pitching your own funding for millions of dollars, they will also applaud you. So let's clap for him. Let's applaud him.
Hello, everyone. My name is Wale. I'm a co-founder at AGRISTI. And at AGRISTI, we are contributing to solving one of Africa's biggest challenges, which happens to be food security. And we are doing this by making farming simple, profitable, and accessible to everyone. So as it currently stands, Nigeria spends well over $1 billion annually importing food. Yet we have millions of people who still go hungry or don't have access to diets that meet up to world recommended standards. At the same time, 4 in every 10 Nigerian youths don't have good jobs. And many of these folks don't even consider agriculture as a viable career path because they often associate it with debt, toil, and rigor. Meanwhile, in cities like Lagos, where food spending goes over $13 billion annually, it is obvious that local supply cannot meet up with this demand, More so, practicing agriculture in spaces like city spaces like Lagos is very difficult due to space constraints, and for people who want to infuse technology, power issues. So the problem is clear. We don't produce enough food, and we don't also make farming attractive. AgriSiti steps up by solving these challenges, or contributing to solving these challenges rather, through 4 scalable solutions. The first is the provision of our modular farming units. Our small and easy to use farming units, that's, we call it the Smart Agri-Pyramid System, short for SAPSIS, is an easy to use farming unit that allows anyone grow fresh foods with little space. Secondly, our Young City Farmers Initiative is our school-based program where we go into schools, we set up modern farms, and also teach students how to, practice modern agriculture using our interactive and immersive metaverse-based learning platform. Thirdly, we are also into the commercial production of poultry, fishes, and vegetables. And we are also looking to make this, to adopt youths into our ecosystem through a cohort-based recruitment strategy, basically helping us to engage as many youths as possible and also provide them jobs. And finally, our Farming as a Service offering is a subscription service where we help our clients manage their farm units and also handle their offtake. So far, we've made steady progress since inception. We've bootstrapped so far, and also gotten a couple of grant funding to take the business to where it is today. We've also received an MOU granting us access to about 180 hectares of land for commercial farming in the Niger Delta. Recently, we've generated over 200 million naira in the past year in revenue. Recently, we were recognized as urban farming startups to watch globally, and we're the only African startup on that list. And most recently, we received a $3 million funding commitment. It's a commitment from the SDGGI and funding partnership in Scotland to help us scale our operations. But this is contingent on us raising $1.5 million. Our market is huge, worth about $100 billion, and we are looking to capture about 3% of our serviceable available market, which is worth about $41 million every year. Our target market includes middle to high income urban dwellers looking to grow their own foods or have access to fresh foods. We also have schools looking to train their students and youths in modern farming, as well as government bodies and NGOs looking to drive food security initiatives, youth entrepreneurship programs, and poverty alleviation programs generally. We make money through four routes: through our hardware sales. Okay, I'm standing in front of one of the models we made, our functional unit. Our SAPSIS unit is a compact unit that occupies 5 to 8 square meters and can allow anyone grow poultry, fishes, and veggies in a very small space. Currently, we are improving these models in line with standards, and we are currently sourcing materials as well as suppliers that can help us commercialize it. Our focus is on design for manufacturing at this moment so that we can hit the market with these units later this year. Secondly, we are also into commercial farming. We started out with our poultry farm, a 4,000 capacity, as well as our fish farm, a 15,000 capacity. We've started just a little bit of exporting, but we're just using that to test the waters. We are looking forward to also scale that up. Our Young City Farmers Initiative is well on the way. We've set up over 10 schools right now. We've partnered with the Lagos Ministry of Agriculture to get into more schools. Here are some videos and images from students working in these farms and relating with these products. Finally, our Farming as a Service offering basically just bridges the gap between other parts of our business model. In conclusion, our team comprises individuals from different backgrounds, ranging from construction, agriculture, and business, and we are looking forward to inviting strategic partners who can help us achieve our mission and also join us on this journey. If we do win the grant money, it will be used towards improving one of our school farms by providing solar electricity as well as improving our remote IoT monitoring systems. Thank you very much.
Thank you. A round of applause, please, for Akintunde Oyewale from AGRISTI. Did I pronounce that right?
AGRISTI.
AGRISTI.
Yes.
Or is it S? Okay.
SITI.
AGRISTI. Okay, please, round of applause for him. Okay, great. So over to our panel judges. Please go ahead. You have 5 minutes.
All right. Good presentation again. And for you to have come this far, the judges that judged previously must have done a good job of evaluation. I was trying to understand, are you providing solution to farmers or are you farmers yourself?
Okay, so our business model is blended. Our target is city farmers. We want to provide people living in cities the freedom to be able to grow their own foods within their space. But the commercial aspect is a recurring revenue aspect of our business, whereby we have a farm in Port Harcourt where we produce these products and we sell for our own purpose. We don't sell to farmers, like we sell for our own business so that we could get recurring revenue.
Okay, let me cut it short. You mentioned the hardware you're selling.
Yes.
What is the typical cost of the fabrication of the hardware, and what is the total cost of ownership?
Okay, the units cost an average of $3,500 currently, and we also have the custom units, which has gained more traction. That cost about $15,000, and we've set up about 10 so far. So what we are trying to currently now make more efficient is the smaller sizes, which is the one I said we are sourcing materials and suppliers for to hit the market later this year.
What is the possibility of local fabrication for the smaller unit?
Very possible. The pilot unit we created was made entirely here, but looking at the cost for scalability is not practicable. So, for example, steel alone is very expensive, not to talk about the other gadgets that go into the production, because we are integrating 3 aspects of agriculture: poultry, fishes, and vegetable cultivation.
Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation. You had mentioned you had made about 200 million in revenue already.
Revenue, yes.
How did that come about? Because from what you've pitched to us, it appears like your business is in an incubation stage. So how did you generate such revenue?
The bulk of our revenue is from our school program. That's the Young City Farmers Initiative. So we've set up now over 10 schools, and each school, so it's basically a setup of a modern farming system as well as a curriculum that goes alongside with it. So we also teach the students for a period of time, usually 6 months. So each of those units cost $15,000 at the moment. So we've done over 10. In the past year, we did 7. So the previous year, we did 6. So that is where the bulk of our revenue has come from so far.
Okay, the final question from me. In responding to my co-judge's question about fabrication, you appear to be going away from fabrication in country. So you're looking at fabrication outside. Yes. So you're going to be incurring costs in foreign exchange, but you'll be earning in dollars or in naira. How would you deal with that?
Okay,
with that currency?
Yes. So we have actually tried to analyze doing it here and also doing it abroad. But the reality is, to even achieve the fullness of the product, we can't get every piece here. For example, gadgets like the aerators, the remote IoT systems, we will still get them when we look at the pricing, even when we convert to naira, compared to sourcing it from somewhere like Asia, it's still way cheaper.
All right, thank you so much. I'm still struggling a bit with your, sorry, I'm just figuring out this mic. Your source of revenue. When you do the school projects, who pays Who pays the $15,000?
So currently, like I mentioned, we are in partnership with the Lagos State Ministry of Agriculture. So they do the heavy lifting.
So is this public schools?
So it's a blend of public and private. Reason is because it's still in the pilot phase at this moment. So they are trying to see which of these schools will be able to manage better. So they do a blend.
So the government is paying?
The government is paying.
Okay. My other question, you say cost of a unit is $3,500, and you're targeting home users in the city
exactly,
who want to grow their own food.
Yeah.
Did you do a cost-benefit analysis to say, is this realistic? Is this affordable?
Yes, we did. So
let me just ask my other question. If I take my co-judge's question around external fabrication and forex, are you considering? I know you say a lot of parts are not available locally. Wouldn't it be better to bring in the parts than fabricate entirely outside and ship it back in with the forex fluctuations? Just asking.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. So the first question, we've studied, and the typical ROI for a unit will pay back itself within 12 to 18 months for those units. And another reason why we are taking our time to really develop the product is because we are trying to also see how we could infuse a pay-as-you-go mechanism, whereby we would have remote access to these units, and based on agreements with our users, we could shut down the system if they don't keep up with payments as promised. So that's the first.
Did you say shut down the system?
Yes, to remotely shut down the system. So for example, a user is supposed to pay every month, remit a particular amount every month. That's for the pay-as-you-go system, but they fail to pay.
How do you shut it down?
Yeah, so remotely we could do that. Remote.
Sorry, it's growing vegetables. How do you shut it down?
Yeah, so there are some gadgets that are actually crucial to make it work. So we could work in diverse ways. We could shut down the power source remotely. Even if they reconnect with probably the grid power, it is possible to also shut down certain instruments like the aerators, the inverter system. We could have a smart lock inverter that could shut down the system and make it not usable today.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry. I know, and because you already got a couple of questions in there as well. But we have to wrap it up now and then move on to the next pitch for now. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. Please, a round of applause. All right, we're going to go into the next pitch now from Favor Adeleke of QIQI. Please come forward, Favor.
Hi, good afternoon, judges. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Favor Adeleke. I'm a farmer and co-founder at QIQI FARMS Global Limited, and I'm the youngest farmer in Nigeria who had completely transformed the life of 1,000 farmers in Nigeria. So what is QIQI FARMS basically? QIQI FARMS is an agri-tech and innovative food distribution company that basically distributes products across Nigeria, which is Lagos, majorly across North America and Europe. We basically have a network of 1,000 farmers who produce over 30 varieties of food products ranging from livestock, fruits and vegetables, of which with our cold chain innovative ecosystem, we offtake and basically distribute to ready market. And here are some of our clients. Any five-star hotel you might think of in Lagos, we basically distribute products to them. We earn between 10 to 20% profit margin, and we get paid within 5 to 10 working days. Next slide. Very good, right? So basically the hospitality industry market in Nigeria is worth over 500 million US dollars. And we basically deal with distribution of products to hospitality companies in Nigeria and also exports, right? And why do we basically focus on this market? Growing up as a child of a farmer, it was very hard for my siblings and I going to school. Most of the times we were either being chased out of school because our parents as farmers were not able to basically pay our fees on time. And that was very traumatizing for us, right? And again, going to university, the only reason I've graduated from school today was basically because I had to start a farm and try to do something differently from the way my parents and grandparents had it done, and basically serve a more ready market. And that was how we're able to further that going to school. So yeah, what problem do we basically solve? We basically solve the problem in the hospitality sector, which is lack of credit and inconsistency in food supply and basically food pricing stability, right? So most of these multinationals and indigenous hospitality clients, both locally in Nigeria, they're always having issues basically before importing products that can be grown locally in Nigeria. So we basically had to basically change that narrative and created a solution that guarantees food price stability and distribution of all these food products to our clients every week, right? So what's our traction? In 2024, we started a working capital of 4.5 million naira, and we're able to do a revenue of 160.3 million naira from sales weekly, and we did an export of $22,000. We made a net profit of 13.5 million naira, and our accounts are audited for the past 3 years, and we also have tax clearance for that. Yes, so we basically distributed over 200 tons of food products that could have been wasted. So here is the dream team that basically make this happen. I'm the co-founder and the chief development officer, ensuring that we onboard more clients and we solve the problem of food wastage in Nigeria, which is what, over 3.5 trillion. And within 4 months this year, we've been able to do a revenue of over 101 million naira. We've distributed over 14 tons of food products, basically chicken, vegetables, and fruits. And why are we here for the 3 million naira grants, right? We have an 80 million naira monthly demand from our customer survey. Basically, any five-star hotel you think of that we basically supply, and we don't have enough capital to roll that. So within this year, we made an additional profit of about 5 million naira, which we basically use to fund our farmers to keep producing to meet the ready demand that we currently serve. And right now, why we need the grant is basically because for the past 3 months, we'll be getting more orders from major of our clients. But the major one we're focusing on is Babcock University. They basically need about 1.2 tons of chicken from us monthly, but our working capital that we work with is cannot enable us fund our supply. So within the rest 8 months, if we emerge as the winner of this competition, within the next 8 months of this year, we'll be able to generate 40 million naira in revenue from the grants, right? Because we are supplying every month and we're getting paid within 5 to 15 working days. We basically make 40 million naira in revenue and a profit margin of 2.4 million naira from this supply, right? Also on a larger scale, to investors here who would love to be a part of the great things that we're doing, first, we have a ready demand of over 80 million naira monthly, which is going to enable us achieve 1 billion naira in revenue, right? Our clients are there. We have track record. We have integrity. In terms of any five-star hotel, restaurant, supermarket, some of them are multinationals, meaning, for instance, a major client of ours is Marriott Hotels. 7 Marriott Hotels for the past 2 years. It means that we can serve Marriott Hotels. Okay, thank you. This is the main slide. Thank you. So it means that we can serve any Marriott hotel, right, across 130 countries that they're currently operating. So it means that our business is really scalable and there is demand, right? So this is the numbers here. It's going to empower 10 more farmers to produce over 1.2 tons of chicken that Babcock University needs monthly from us, right? Okay. Yes. So, yeah, we have the demand, we have the market. We're not wasting your money on marketing, on packaging, or branding. Our customers trust us every week. They depend on our products because that's the lifeline of their business operation, and we've always delivered, and we have a 5-star rating from all of them. And here is our customers' analyzed data in terms of our products, our quality, our service, and our capacity to meet their demand. So for investors here, we'd love you to join us. We have a ready demand, and we can ensure that we keep on working with your capital to create a win-win situation for everyone.
All right.
Thank
awesome.
you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Favor. We'll go over to your questions.
All right, I just have a couple of questions because I didn't catch some of the things. You talked about your customers being only 5-star hotels and restaurants.
No, I said that hospitality and export markets,
Okay.
but largely 5-star hotels, restaurants, supermarkets.
Okay, so how many of those customers, I'll just run through my questions. How many of those customers do you actually have now? And where are you distributing the food from?
Our farmers
where?
produce them locally in southwest Nigeria. So we have a cooling van to uptake, store, and distribute to them every week.
Okay, so in terms of distribution, so you have like freezer, do you have trucks?
Yeah, cooling vans.
Yeah,
yes,
so
cooling
just
vans.
so that
We
you
don't
can
own
answer
that.
those
We have
questions.
partners.
How many customers, where from, how are you doing the distribution? And what is the money for? I didn't hear that part as well.
Yeah, okay, thank you so much for that very good question. I really do appreciate it. Right, again, we deal with hospitality and export markets, right?
How many
yes,
have you?
mainly
How
for
many?
now.
How many?
50 of them, 50 plus, right? 50 hospitality clients.
Currently?
Hotels, restaurants, yes, right? The next question was, what do we need the money for?
No, the next question, where from?
Where
and
from? In
how are
Southwest
you moving?
Nigeria. Okay, very good. In Southwest Nigeria, once the farmers produce, we have a cooling ecosystem, right? From storage, cold hubs to cooling vans. So we meet international standards, right, in terms of distribution of all these products weekly. And, dealing with all these multinationals, we've had 0 rejection for the past 3 years, and our product quality is one of the best. Right? I could give instances of other brands that have been rejected, and we have more advantage in terms of price and capacity to always meet their demand every week. And in terms of what we need the money for, we have an 80 million in terms of monthly demand, apart from the revenue we've made this year, distributing over 30 tons of product, right? We have that demand already, right? But we don't have the funding to enable our farmers to produce that, right? We are currently working with additional profit this year, which is about 21 million naira in our working capital. But we have more demand, and our payments come within 5 to 15 working days. So the 3 million naira grants will be used basically to fund the demand of Babcock University, who basically needs chickens monthly, about 1.2 tons of chicken. So that gives us 4 million naira, 4.2 million naira in revenue every month. And when we do that, that's about that's roughly around 30 million naira with a 2.4 million naira gross profit within 8 months.
Okay, and let my other judges ask.
Thank you, Favor. How do you take care of the risk of your products spoiling? It's one thing to have farmers, it's another thing to have cooling rooms or cooling vans, but we also know that we have a challenge with power in Nigeria. So how do you mitigate the risk of you actually delivering and your products being rejected?
Oh, that's a very good question. Thank you so much for asking that. Right, so we have major agric partners, like major agric distribution partners, right, from storage to distribution, right? So for the past 5 years being in operation and 3 years of running this new business model, we've had 0 spoilage of our products. So it means that once, let me give an example, it means once vegetables are harvested from the farm, our client needs them weekly, right? So it means a vegetable is harvested on Tuesday, is distributed on Wednesday with a cooling ecosystem, right? It means for chicken, once it's produced immediately, it goes directly into cold water. Removing from cold water, it goes into the cold room for flash blast freezing, and the next day it's off-taked within our cooling van, and the temperature is always intact. And again, we've had 0 rejection of our products for the past 3 years. Any question?
Right. Technically, you're into supply chain.
Perfect. And that's the future for the agric industry in Nigeria.
They've asked all the questions I wanted to ask. The one last question is, how do you manage your liquidity position? So you have supplier you buy from that you supply to the 5-star, like you rightly mentioned. How do you manage your liquidity position in terms of, do you negotiate 30 days to pay your supplier? Do you force your buyer to pay you within 7 days so that your liquidity at every point in time you could actually come with something that could sustain the business? I could see that you are very good with numbers, you're crunching the number, and everything was looking all nice. But I'm pretty much concerned about your liquidity because that is actually the soul of the business.
Yeah, thank you so much for that very good question. Right, so we operate a 3 model in terms of our partners who are farmers who produce for us, and also for our clients who pay us within 5 to 10 working days. Right, so for our partners, for some farmers who produce for us, we pay them after. I mean, it's a post-paid, right? Some of them we pay them after 15 days or 30 days. Some we actually pay them as we off-take, because again, it's a credit-driven business, meaning for a farm that produces chicken and they need feeds, they're also getting the feeds on credit from the input dealers based on the trust that they have that QIQI Farms is basically off-taking all that they produced, right? In terms of our clients, they always pay on time, right? According to the agreement we have, because again, what we are supplying them is a lifeline of their business operation. It means that for an hotel, if they don't have chickens or vegetables or fish, they can't serve their clients, right? So the payment integrity has always been intact. They always keep it because every week, so most times 3 times a week, we are always supplying to them because their business has to keep running.
Thank you so much. Please, again, a round of applause for Favor Adeleke of QIQI Farms. And we're going to go into our final pitch for today from Allies. Samuel Linus, please come forward to give your pitch. And the microphone. Please clap for him. I know you're eating rice and chicken, but let's encourage him a little bit.
Thank you so much for having me. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, judges. Doing business in Nigeria is not easy. And I want to ask a question, please. Do we have any course creator or a coach here? You're a creator, content creator. You create content, you put it on TikTok. Just wave now. Help me, please. Anybody? Exactly. So Allies is in the business of helping African creators and online coaches do business in Nigeria, basically, in a nutshell. So this is my story. I have a friend that had over close to 200,000 followers on Instagram. And he was like, one day he went to the mall, and somebody that knew him from Instagram was like, bro, I thought that you have a car. I thought that you have money and so on and so forth. Not knowing that followers does not count to money, right? And that is why you see all those creators on TikTok saying, follow my gifters. Well, I've seen something like that, right? So basically, you can be a creator, you can have followers, and yet you are broke. And your followers will see you online. Like I said, I used to follow someone on Instagram. Now you have about 35,000 followers. And how come does not have a car and stuff like that? Because doing business as a creator is one thing to be a content creator, an online coach is another thing to have a business behind that, right? And that is why we decided to build Allies. Personally, I'm a creator and I'm also a coach. I teach people basically digital skill and tech skill. And with that, I've generated over $1.25 million just teaching people on these tech skills online in the past 5 years, right? So we face 2 major problems, right? With Nedi, where I normally teach people. Then this problem, number 1, I think one of the chief sponsors, we agree with me, that is Veto, that the number 1 problem about content creators and online coaches to do business in Nigeria is limited monetization options for African creators and coaches. PayPal, Stripe don't accept Africans. They don't smile on us. Some of these social media platforms, TikToks, they are creator programs, don't accept Africans, right? If you're a creator in UK, TikTok will pay you, but in Nigeria, they will not pay you. If you're a creator on Facebook, Facebook will pay you, right? In the Western nation, they will pay you, but in Africa, they will not pay you. The only platform that pays Africans is YouTube. And so many of these African creators, they are finding several means that they can make money, they can do business. After having so many followers, how can they monetize that particular following? That's a huge problem. The second one is challenge with time-consuming tasks, right? You always want to create content, you always want to put something out there for your followers, and so on and so forth, right? And that is a big challenge for them. Now, this is the solution that we are building at Allies. Number 1, unlock more monetization for these African creators with global payments. Right? Once we help them make more money by unlocking several ways they could make money. Apart from just having followers, one of the ways they could make money is by selling digital products. So on Allies, they can sell digital products. Another way is to host and sell online courses. So on Allies, as a coach, you can host and sell online courses. Another way that they make money is brand deals. Right? So on Allies, you should come as a creator, create an account as a UGC creator, or as an influencer, a micro-influencer. And as a brand, businesses like ourselves here, you can go on Allies, look for these creators and hire them. So they make money. So you're not waiting until they have 1,000 followers to make money. They can easily make money. Then the second solution is time-consuming tasks. That is where the Allies AI comes into play. Right? So the Allies is an AI-powered platform. And with the AI, we help them to automate their content creation. Right? So they can link their social media accounts, and Allies will generate this particular content for them and be posting it for them as well. So even if you're using Allies as a coach, not a content creator, as a coach, right, you can always generate your sales page for your course that you are selling on the internet. Now, it's simple to use. You create an account, you sign up, it's free. Allies is free to use, don't worry, it's free. Right? You just go there, create an account, and you do everything that you actually want to do. You might be wondering, someone said it is free. So what is the business model? Transaction charge, right? We take between 4% to 10% of every money that passes through the platform. So as a creator, we help you to receive 100,000 naira. We take 4% to 10% depending on the monetization feature that you are using. We are actually a few months old, and we've done over, actually, if I update this pitch deck, I would have said 40 million in the past 3 months that we paid our creators on our platform. And we are also happy that we won Lagos Business School AIpreneur pitch competition last year as well in 2024. Our team, personally, I have close to a decade experience as an AI and a full stack developer. I have other developers in my team. We're just a team of 5, and we are doing amazing. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm seeing you, so I'm scared. So our competitive advantage. One of the reasons why we are different is that we understand this thing. It's a very big market. By 2027, the creator economy will be worth $5 billion. And guess what, guys? Africa is an afterthought. They're not thinking about us, right? So we have to think about ourselves. It's a big business. And we are different because we integrated AI to solve so many of the problems, and we are building monetization options that the regular social media platforms will not build for these particular creators. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, thank you. Round of applause, please. You know, I believe you that you're a content creator. You know what, guys? Hello, guys. Who's your guys?
I'm so sorry.
You know what they do on YouTube? Hi,
sorry.
guys. Okay, I'm just messing with you. All right, so over to our judge.
You said content creators today don't get paid except through YouTube. So,
on most platforms.
So how are you enabling global payments? How are you enabling the payments?
Perfect. We are building monetization options. So apart from the revenue sharing on social media platforms, like, for example now, YouTube has a revenue sharing model. That is why, but they pay Africans. TikTok has what they call the creator program. They don't pay Africans. So now, the African creators, there are several ways you could make money. Number one is selling of courses. So on the platform now, there is opportunity for you to sell your courses as a creator. You can sell digital products. Creators normally sell digital product or mesh or all of those stuff like ebooks, resources, templates. So they can do that. So if they have a client, that somebody wants to get a product that is not in Nigeria here, that is paying in dollars, on Allies, you can actually, we can help them process that particular payment, right? So on that one, again, it's brand deals. Personally, sometimes even brand gets slide into my DM and say, Samuel, help us on create content for XYZ amount of things, right? And they're not in Nigeria, probably in Canada. They want to pay me Canadian dollars. How do I receive that particular money, right? But on Allies, they could do that too. So there is brand deals there too as well. So what we are doing at Allies is very simple. How can creators make money apart from the normal revenue sharing? We're not dragging the revenue sharing model with the social media platform, no. They are building other options that they can make money, they can do business as a creator or as a coach. Simple. I'm
looking, because she said one question. How are you processing the payments? Are you partnering with financial institutions? I'm still not clear.
Amazing. Now, on our platform right now, the payment processor is Flutterwave, right, for the Nigerian market, right? Mm-hmm. If you want to pay in Naira or in any African currency. Now, let's say you want to pay in USD. So we are registered as LLC in Delaware. We have our own LLC in Delaware in US, right? So with that now, we can actually open a US account, and we can also help them process, we can integrate Stripe, so that if you are receiving payments in US dollars, we can also use Stripe as our payment processor, receive that particular payment for you. You wait for like about seven business working days, then we can now actually send that money to your own account. So we've calculated the percentage in such a way that the payment processors, they normally take their own percentage. Then we also take our own percentage as well.
I was waiting to hear your strategic alliance with the major platform. Because again, when you talk about the number of followers, you cannot do this without having strategic alliance with the likes of Facebook, Meta, YouTube, and the rest. That's one. So what exactly are you going to do with this fund?
Okay, this particular fund. Okay.
Two questions.
The first one is that we don't actually need any strategic alliance with YouTube or TikTok or any of these social media platforms, not at all. Right? Think of us as Teachable or Gumroad or Seller in Nigeria, for example. That is similar platform you can actually categorize us under. Right? So we don't actually need that. But if we have that, great. Probably for publicity and so on and so forth. Now, for the second question, we need this fund, number one, to drive our product adoption. If not 100%, it will go into marketing so that more creators are going to know about our platform, right? In terms of development, personally, I'm a developer. I was two other developers in my team so as well. So we don't actually need the fund for product development. We need the fund for product adoption, drive marketing, more creators, more coaches should know about allies, that they can do all of these things on allies, and that's just it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Samuel. How many clients, customers do you have? Because, except I heard you wrong, you had said that you've just been in business for a few months.
Yeah.
And you said something about $1.25 million.
Okay, yeah.
Was that revenue?
No, that was not for allies. That was like before what I did before allies. I said I've been selling courses for the past 5 years, and I've generated that under another platform called Nedi. So I used to run Nedi, where we teach people digital skills like UI design, digital marketing, front-end web development, blah, blah. So that's my track record. But for allies itself, we have about 1,200 creators right now. Mm-hmm. And for the past 3 months that we've been in operation, so we've been close to 6 months, but we launched our MVP in the last 3 months. So in that 3 months now, we've processed 40 million naira. So in that 40 million naira, now, those are the amount that creators have made using the platform.
Okay, and how much was your own money out of the 40 million?
Our percentage is 4%.
Okay. Thank you. No more questions for me.
Okay. Super. Thank you. Please, a round of applause for Samuel Linus of Allies. He has pitched his pitch. Also, please, a round of applause for the judges. They really interrogated all the candidates today. So next, we're going to give the judges some time to think through the pitches, to deliberate amongst themselves, to select who it is that they want us to give the pitch prize to. While they're doing that, my production team back there, please just flash the logos of all the sponsors, just to make sure, just their logos, let that slide go through. Once again, we want to thank our sponsors for today, all our platinum sponsors, our platinum sponsor, MTN, gold sponsor, Unotelos, and silver sponsors, and our bronze sponsors. We appreciate them very much. I do have another... just a few announcements. I think we have another raffle. MTN had some gifts. First of all, for those who attended the MTN clinic. So if you went over to the MTN clinic today, they have a gift, a free HR solution with their Cloudly product. So who are they seeing for that? I think there's someone... Okay, yes, so the lady over here. So if you went to the MTN Business Clinic earlier, please just go see her so you can get your free gift. Please, a round of applause for MTN. And we also, for the pitchers as well, they do have some gifts for you. They're going to be giving you an e-set of their cybersecurity solutions with 3 months free as well to the pitchers. So please, a round of applause for yourselves as well for all the hard work, and then for MTN. So you'll also go see her when the event is over to get your gift from her.
All right, so we want to really commend all the pitchers. A lot of what you have shared have impact in different sectors in the economy. And we all know that in Nigeria, we need all the help we can get. So innovation, so whatever the outcome, just keep doing what you're doing, keep pushing. Because you're doing great. I'm just going to narrow down. We were unanimous in terms of the top two. It was clear in terms of the top two and the difference between the bottom two. And it was really close. So the top two, the runner-up to the winner is Yuli Holmes. Uli Homes. You were very articulate, very clear about what you wanted to do. It's in areas of impact and the rest that maybe there was 1 or 2 scores. And interestingly, the winner is QIQI FARMS. So just to say, even though he was speaking really fast, it took us, we needed to pull it out of him. He ran out of time, and we tried to pull it out of him, and his solution is really impactful. So congratulations, QIQI FARMS.
Come forward, please. A round of applause. Let's celebrate QIQI FARMS. Favor Adeleke.
My destiny. I have waited.
Congratulations. I'd also like to call on Linda. Linda, please come forward. Come forward. Let's celebrate the winner today.
So stand up for the champions. For the champions. Stand up. Stand up.
Congratulations.
Stand up for the champions. For the champions. Stand up.
Congratulations. Clap for him. He did a great job. And he has won the DBNC Business Pitch for the year 2025. Congratulations. Woo! Congratulations.
Here we go. It's getting
Quick photo op.
now. It's just who
Photo opportunity. Congratulations. And once again, a big thank you to all the judges. I know we didn't give you much time to deliberate, but you did what you needed to do. So quick photograph, quick photo.
stand up
Stand.
for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up.
So the reason behind the business pitch is to, promote entrepreneurship in Nigeria, support small businesses, and also put them on platforms like this where they can pitch to investors. We have a lot of investors in the room. Now, the grant is just to encourage them, right? And for that, I would like to say that everyone who has pitched here is a winner. So please, let's recognize Uli Homes. Let's recognize AGRISTI, yeah? And then the fourth business, Allies as well, because they've stood on this stage and they have pitched to investors. Do not be surprised if someone reaches out to you directly to maybe discuss further opportunities. So today we are giving, or rather we're supporting you with a working capital of 3 million naira. And beyond that, you would also be assigned to mentors as well throughout the year. So we'll be in touch with you all through up until 2026, okay? Exactly. So thank you, everyone, and congratulations. So after taking a picture with him, let's have the rest of the pitchers come on stage as well so we can celebrate them.